Hello everyone, and now welcome to a game between Hawk and I believe this is WFZ. Let me double check that. Yeah, it is going to be Hawk versus WFZ on Terranus stand. We see Hawk spawning as the blue human, or excuse me, I am not colorblind, the red human player over here on the bottom right hand side of the map. Meanwhile, over here on the top left, we have WFZ spawning as the blue Undead. Undead versus human 1v1 taken from a NetEase ladder map game, as things are going to be getting underway. Both players have chosen their races, so it is not a random matchup as things are now getting underway. What can we expect to see in this 1v1 matchup? Most likely an Archmage versus a Death Knight, and we'll see what will be the long-term effects of the game and how these players try and get to the mid and end game. Both players most likely don't want to try to do anything too risky, as well, risky games does end up turning into a little bit of a risky business, and you always want to move forward with your best strategy, hoping that your opponent tries to make some sort of mistake. Back down over here, you see the Archmage is being added. Farm is going to be nearly built, as we should be looking at a scout tower eventually, as skeletal minions have been known to cause a bit of problems later on. Acolyte now doing a bit of scouting as well. Death Knight is being trained. We are going into a graveyard, which means that after the first 3 to 4 ghouls, we should be looking at a large number of Crypt Fiends. I apologize for the rally point moving. It is often known that players will just try and constantly move things around, keep their fingers nimble as things are getting underway. Second farm now being added here as the scout tower will be done, and we should be looking at an arcane tower added here just so that the Death Knight doesn't push in with too much pressure. Archmage does train up water elementals really quickly. If it isn't a water elemental, my apologies, but then again, I'm 99% sure that is going to be water elementals, as there's the purge. There is the water elemental now taking a bit of damage. As let's take a look, Footman, purposely going to go ahead and aggro back off as the Renegade Wizard does get taken down. Gloves of Haste has been dropped. Death Knight now wandering around here, hoping to finish off some of these units, as the Footman now wandering around here. Rogue Wizard could end up getting taken down. Is the Death Knight going to get the experience? Oh no! Death Knight does not get the experience. Footman comes in with the kill. Archmage now sitting at level 2 before the Apprentice Wizards have even been cleared. Big deal once again, as we now see Footman clearing out the Apprentice Wizards down across here. Alright, Gauntlets of Ogre Strength +3. That will be plus 75 hit points, as that Footman, well, he did his dying duty there, as the Archmage now going to make his way back off to the north. Death Knight now slipping back off to the north here. Skeletal minions now being forced back, as the skeletal minions have finished off that last Apprentice Wizard. My apologies. If you hear the phone in the background, hopefully they'll just hang up, because it's most likely a telemarketer. All right. Archmage now still wandering back around here. Footman still coming back, as the Militia are now making their way in. Militia should be able to clear out this creep camp fairly fast, as we now see some skeletal minions coming in from the north. All right, major creep jack coming across here. There is going to be a lot of damage to be had. However, we do see a Forest Troll Shadow Priest, and we do see a lot of Abolish magic right then and there. All right, units are getting taken down here. A lot of Death Coil coming across. Manual of Health has been dropped. Death Knight still sitting at level 1. Kobold Taskmaster looks like it will get taken down. Is it going to get another Death Coil right there? Oh, wow. Beautiful steal again, as the Archmage was unable to finish it off. Does pick up the Potion of Greater Healing, but unable to finish off that Death Knight. That Death Knight purposely got within a very close range as well, so the Death Coil would not have to travel nearly as far. With all of that said and done, though, Forest Troll Berserker, very high damage indeed. We see that the expansion has not yet been cleared out, as the Archmage now heads off to the north, having to do a little bit more damage to get to level 3. All right, Assassin going to get taken out very quickly. Perhaps the Forest Troll Berserker should be going after the Bandit, since they do have heavy armor. No reduced damage there. Archmage now sitting at level 3 with a Ring of Protection +2 to add to his name. Now, expansion going to be built off to the north, as we see human players do like to expand very, very early and often against an undead player. It may seem like a bit of an unfair advantage, but the undead player is going to be coming back stronger with those obsidian statues and crypt fiends. This does tend to make for a little bit of a longer game, as the Death Knight now needs to retreat back here. Alright, Crypt Fiend's taking a little bit of damage, but nothing really to be concerned about. Blight and Unholy Aura will make short work of all of that, as we now see all of the units are being pulled back here. Alright, Death Knight gonna go ahead and try and do a little bit more stealing. Archmage may try to get some damage across here. Death Knight, is it going to try and finish off this Sasquatch? Sasquatch is now down to 430 hit points, as the Archmage is now taking a little bit of, or dealing a little bit of damage. Footmen do not have defend though. Sasquatch still doing a lot of damage here. Death Knight, is he going to be able to steal that last shot again? That is going to be the key question, as a low hit point Footman tries to get away. Death Knight may be able to chase after that Footman. There's a Death Coil. He gets the kill. Archmage picks up the Lightning Shield and picks up the Tome of Agility. Death Knight now very close to level 3. And WFZ apparently doesn't like his experience stolen early. And now coming back with a vengeance with a bunch of Death Coil steals of his own. Forest Troll, Shadow Priest, and a little bit of an issue there. Low on mana. Archmage is sitting at level 3, not yet at level 4. Much of that has to do with the amount of the experience that the Lich, or excuse me, the Death Knight has stolen. You can see a bit of a purge right there. There's a deny already, as a Water Elemental does get taken down. Arcane Vault will be added. Low hit point Footman hiding back across here. Mercenary Camp will be able to hire up some additional units, as the Archmage really wants to get some extra experience. Now, the problem is that the Lich and the Death Knight are going to be coming together, and they should be able to do a lot of damage very, very fast. Skeletal Minions now pulling back here. Let's take a look at this. Arcane Tower taking a lot of damage. You can see Peasant now taking some damage as well. Archmage, Death Coil, Frost Nova onto the Forest Troll Berserker. He'll get taken down without much of an issue. Footmen are still trying to be added. Forest Troll, Shadow Priest trying to hide back across here, as the Footmen now need to try and hide behind this Arcane Tower. However, the Crypt Fiends with that very strong range will cause some problems, as another Forest Troll Shadow Priest gets taken down. Hawk really investing heavily into this expansion. And is it going to really work out here? The Lich and the Death Knight going to be the majority of the damage dealer, in addition to those skeletal minions. You can see how much damage is just being added right there, as the Death Knight gets the final blow off there again. Alright, Death Knight, does it have enough to finish off this one Crypt Fiend? Crypt Fiend very, very low on hit points. Footman getting taken down. Crypt Fiend down to 83 hit points, gets a level 2 Death Coil, and is now back up to about 480 hit points, as the units are now once more in retreat. Skeletal Minions now need to back off again. And you can see Hawk is just giving more and more experience, and the bigger problem than losing your army, not to say that that is not a big problem, but you're also giving experience to the Lich and the Death Knight, who will later be nuking down your heroes once more. A second Obsidian statue now added. Essence of Mana, Essence of Blight, all being used together to try and fight all of this back, as we are now going into a massive number of guard towers. You can see the peasants looking like they should be on auto repair. Not quite sure what's happening. At some point, the mana is going to run dry. But with these obsidian statues, it is not going to be anytime soon. Guard towers are not upgraded at Masonry upgrade. Militia now coming in from the back. And this is right now just a last-ditch effort to try and reach a good tipping point, as you now see Ogre Mauler now coming in. Okay, let's take a look. Are we going to see the death of an obsidian statue? Yes, we are. Mud Golem now going to be coming across. Militia now going after the obsidian statues as well. Lich now sitting at level 2. Units are trying to run every which way, and that's one use. Oh, wow. Death Coil now late there, as the traveling distance just a bit too far. Militia now going after the obsidian statue. Obsidian statue down to 249 hit points. Now trying to run away again. Footman, and let's take a look at this Frost Nova onto the Forest Troll Berserker. Everyone losing lots and lots of units, as the Lich takes a fireball in the back. Peasants now heading back home. Let's take a look. Keep nearing upgrade completion. Water Elemental trying to chase after an obsidian statue, and it looks like all that's going to end up happening is the Lich will and the Death Knight will get a little bit more experience. Water Elemental should probably be going after those kobold towers, those kobolds, in order to proc those units and, well, not give any extra experience. All right, down to 23 hit points, and there it goes. Supply count 46 over 54, gold 172 for the Footman and the Archmage army of Hawk. WFZ, let's take a look at him. He's sitting at 42 over 50, so both sides with relatively the same size army, except for the fact that Hawk probably has many more militia, as we're now looking at the Death Knight and Lich making their way back down, this time with an Orb of Corruption. Archmage looking to run on in here. What is it really looking to do? Rushes on in and now trying to go after the Acolytes. Footmen are also running on in here. There's a Devourer Magic. Ogre Mauler now trying to come across. Mountain King being added in as well. Water Elemental gonna get taken down. There it goes. Acolyte number 1 has been taken out. Archmage will be forced to try and escape here. And meanwhile, Death Knight trying to push his way forward here. Mountain King is out and could perhaps land a couple of Storm Bolts, trying to trap units on the inside here. We are also going into a second barracks, so we could be looking at Knights as the Masonry upgrade is now being completed. Castle being added in right here. Guard Towers being added as well. Altar of Kings taking a lot of damage, as this is turning straight up into a flat-out race to see who can do more damage first. Acolytes continuing this fight here. Obsidian Statue. Where's the Archmage? Archmage is a little bit too far back. Not going to be able to do very much of anything, as we may see a ghoul finally getting taken down. Meanwhile, back down across over here. Mountain King still trying to fight back here. Castle not yet done. And are we going to get the animal war training, as the peasants are now working overtime to try and repair that Altar of Kings? Acolyte looks like he will get taken down. And this may be a very, very strange scenario, but what is actually happening is Hawk is purposely trying to free up some supply to easily transition into Knights, I believe. Altar of Kings sitting at 640 hit points, taking a lot of damage. Peasants gonna get taken down. There it goes, as the castle is now gonna get finished. Are we gonna start training up a Paladin here? That is another question, as the barracks should starting to train those Knights. Not quite sure why they are not doing that yet. Archmage is healing back up with the Clarity Potion, as the Paladin is just now being added. All right, are we going to get more peasants to try and repair this? Down to 554, more peasants being added back over. There is the repairing. There is a Frost Nova, as the peasants are just being sent to their doom to try and repair. No additional units being trained up. Level 3 Masonry upgrades, no additional Knights. Not quite sure what to make of this, as the Mountain King wants to get some damage across, and really the armor type is really what's keeping this Altar of Kings alive for now. Archmage currently is invisible, gonna be dropping a Water Elemental here. Meanwhile, Altar of Kings, is it gonna be able to face? No, not gonna be able to save it. Meanwhile, Archmage is now retrained and dropping Blizzard, as there is no more mining to be had. All right, there is Blizzard. All of those ghouls, are they going to be able to get away? That is another big question right there, as the Archmage is now dropping Blizzard onto the altar, or onto those Ziggurats. Back across here, an army of, well, meat wagons and Crypt Fiends should be able to do enough damage to actually start a bit of a base race. Meanwhile, Archmage is in serious trouble. Is it going to just use a potion of healing in time, and still dropping Blizzards in the back line? Damage is starting to add back up. Let's take a look. Scroll of Town Portal, Staff of Teleportation. Is it going to try and teleport away? It should be. No reason to stay around. Staff of Teleportation will be heading back to the expansion, as the Mountain King, is in a bit of trouble. Meanwhile, Knights are now looking to try and finish off these Crypt Fiends. Knights do not have enough armor and no healing, no animal war training. We're seeing at 37 over 36 supply right now, as the Archmage is now looking to heal back up once more. Siege Engine and Flying Machines now going after the Destroyer. You can see the damage now starting to be added back up, as the units will be teleporting back home. Goblin Zeppelin is back. Meat Wagon attempting to take down the Gold Mine. Gold Mine down to 195 hit points. Is it going to be enough? Siege Engine down to 500. Let's take a look at it. Down to 98. Down to 73. It looks like it will be able to stay alive just in time, as the Haunted Gold Mine is being repaired. Archmage still wandering around back across here. Let's take a look. It looks like a Staff of Sanctuary saving a low hit point Knight. Are we going to be getting an Altar of Kings? Yes, training up that Mountain King and that Paladin. Workshops now adding in those Siege Engines. Archmage now trying to head back off to the north. What is he going to do? Is he going to do another Tome of Retraining? I can't believe that. No, it's going to be a Potion of Invisibility followed by a Potion of Invulnerability, as the Archmage wants to redo all of that same work once again. All right, this is going to be an interesting position to be in. If the Archmage can get into the right spot, even the meat wagons will end up splashing damage onto these units. All right, let's take a look at this. Archmage is waiting for it. Oh, a Ziggurat being built inside here. That's absolutely hilarious, as that Ziggurat is now in position to protect that Archmage. Back off to the north, Mountain King still wandering around. He is back out into the game. Paladin now being added up, as the Archmage is just waiting for a bit of more hit points and perhaps a bit more mana. It looks like the Haunted Goldmine is actually being repaired. Not quite sure by which unit here, as we are now sitting at 50 over 54 supply. Mountain King wandering back down across here. There is a knight here ready to go. Little bit of disease, a little bit of issue, as the Goblin Zeppelin is purposely going to drop a Crypt Fiend back here as well. Perhaps he suspects something is going on, and there it goes. Now, siege engines ready to go. They're going to go ahead and try and unload. Once again, there is the Blizzard. Why isn't the Goblin Zeppelin unloading any of its targets? That is the big question right now. It should really be trying to unload that. Scroll of Town Portal now being used, as the units are... No, not a Scroll of Town Portal. As the Goblin Zeppelin now just dropping the cargo and going after the Ziggurats. Ziggurat's going to get taken down. Haunted Goldmine going to get taken down as well. And yes, no. No, that was the Siege Engine's hit points. And once again, still just taking a lot of damage. Meanwhile, back across over here, Knight is getting healed back up. Staff of Sanctuary doing its job, trying to keep all of the units alive and well. Meanwhile, Destroyer chasing after an Archmage all the way to the other end of the map. Destroyer now heading back off to the north, as the Paladin and Mountain King trying to get some additional work in and trying to get leveled up. As they stand right now, they do not have enough hit points to really engage very well at all. Archmage is going to be ready to go here in just a moment. Death Knight sitting at level 5. Lich sitting at level 4. As the Archmage still wandering around is going to go ahead and aggro those... Wait, oh, it missed. How did it miss? There it goes, finally aggroing those units there. And what's happening here? I thought I heard another unit, but no, didn't hear anything at all. All right, there you go. Paladin now taking a little bit more damage than he should. He's the one that can heal up everything else. Tome of Experience, Paladin now sitting up to level 2. Staff of Sanctuary could bring him back up to full. Let's see what's going to be happening here. Death Coil, once again, the Death Knight denies experience. Paladin... And however, he cannot actually steal that experience, as the Mountain King sitting at level 2 finally. All right, let's take a look at this. Knights are getting added in. Devotion Aura adding in a bit more armor. Mountain King with that Lion Horn of Stormwind giving an additional 1 armor to all of those units. Meanwhile, let's take a look at this. Guard towers are down. More flying machines are added.
Job's done.
We are getting additional gunpowder upgrades, as the flying machines will have 3-0 attacks here in just a second. The majority of the creep camps have been cleared out. Let's take a look. We do see a Dark Ranger now added as well. And with all of this said and done, the game is still fairly even though Hawk has an expansion and WFZ does not. Both sides playing to their strengths, so to speak, as the Death Knight purposely pulling away. Lich is now sitting at level 5, and now the Dark Ranger is still at 1. Dark Ranger with black arrows perhaps will be able to allow Dark Ritual and maybe even Death Pact later on if the game does go that long. Siege engines trying to take down buildings here, and this is actually just feeding experience right now. You don't want to be doing this. The Death Knight is getting up closer and closer to level 6, as the peasants are going to be forced to try and retreat. Staff of Sanctuary on the flying machine, regenerating a lot of those hit points. Flying machines now heading back over here. Are they getting bomb upgrades? No, they are not, as the main gold mines are nearly mined out, and the expansion gold mine is about to get taken out as well. Castle, oh, big Frost Nova going across the board right there. A second Frost Nova could take them down. You can see that Lich is just up in the front line saying, you know what, I can absorb all of this damage. I got a Death Knight behind me, and I don't really mind. No Arcane Tower means that the Lich is just going to hold in that position. Meanwhile, fighting back over here after a Scroll of Town Portal, Knight taking a little bit of damage. Do we see a Staff of Sanctuary No Staff of Sanctuary for that knight just quite yet, as the remaining units are in retreat. Knights still being added up. 70 over 84 supply. Main gold mine here has about 4 minutes, 5 minutes left. This gold mine has a little bit less, excuse me, a little bit more than 5 minutes still going on, as we're looking at WFZ 60 over 60 compared to 71 over 84. Economic advantage is Hawks, but WFZ has the hero level advantage in a 5-5-1 compared to, I believe, a 4-2-2. Ivory towers will be added. There is skeletal minions now wandering out here. Are they going to be able to do very much? Scroll of Town Portal. You can see that the towers, or the meat wagons, are in the back line here. Guard towers are trying to save. Let's see, level 3 masonry upgrades. A lot of piercing damage, as the meat wagon should be going after the town hall and perhaps be attacking those peasants as well. Scroll of Town Portal straight up on all of those units. Meat wagon is going to be able to get away in time. Yes, they will, with the help of the Goblin Zeppelin Stormbolt, as the flying machines are now going to try and engage. There's a beautiful blizzard straight up right there, but a silence stops that in its tracks. Staff of Sanctuary now saves. Flying machine still trying to engage after all of those units. Low hit point knight not saved there. Blizzard trying to, Blizzard trying to take down some more units, as the Archmage has to be very careful with that double-edged sword. Now, we can still see more and more chasing. The flying machine still chasing after all of those units. Knights getting taken down. Flying machines still going back around, as we may see, well, a scroll of regeneration here in just a moment. Knights are all very, very low on hit points, and with that disease cloud, their hit points are not going to be regenerated very, very quickly at all. Guard towers, looks like they're going to get taken down. 1, 2, 3, 4 are left. Ghouls making their way all the way back down across here. Skeletal minions perhaps can try and engage here. So one skeletal minion down. A second skeletal minion will get taken down, as the units are now making their way back down. Militia, we're going to try to come over to protect. Not going to happen, as the guard towers are just now done. Destroyer getting a little bit of a dose of those guard towers, purposely pulls back. And now Hawk says, you know what, I'm just going to try to fight and engage once more. These guard towers do not amount to very much of anything. Mountain King, Paladin, level 2, Archmage sitting at level 4. You can see gold mine nearly mined out here, and this gold mine, 2 minutes left. Heading back off to the north, Archmage picks up a potion of lesser invulnerability. No additional healing that I see. Mountain King also has a potion of lesser invulnerability. No priest in this fight, as we now see straight up engagement on that Black Citadel. Is it going to be enough to really pull out ahead here? There's a Scroll Town Portal, and the units are all just going to end up teleporting away once more. One flying machine not getting away in time. 194, 201 gold. No expansion possible. Perhaps some long distance mining is in the works, as we are looking at where the units are at. Lich still looking extremely strong. Rune bracers, a lot of attack. Those mantles of intelligence definitely helping with the sheer amount of mana on that Lich. The militia, are they going to start trying to build an expansion, or just do a little bit of long distance mining? That is the question here, as you now see them turn back into peasants, and they should be trying to mine right now. All right, creeps now getting taken down. Dark Ranger sitting at level 2, 5-5-2 compared to a 4-2-2. Archmage is still in serious trouble here. Paladin trying to do a bit of healing, and are they going to do some mining? That is the question to be had. 3-0 upgrades. There is a town hall. There is the speed build once more, as the peasants should be looking to try and repair this. But if they do go ahead and repair this, then that is more gold that will end up being lost for the expansion's speed build. All right, this is a little bit of a risky maneuver here. They should actually be just trying to get as much gold as possible. This mine only has 3 minutes worth of mining left. There's the Frost Nova. No more gold for those fast builds, as the Town Hall, well, Town Hall out of gold for that speed building right now. All right, let's take a look at this. getting in a little bit more gold again, trying to repair, trying to buy time as those peasants are doing that walk of shame back again. Knight's going to go ahead and try and engage. Abomination going to get in there as well, and this is a little bit of a risky maneuver as there you go, flying machines going straight up, straight in. Crypt Fiends now going to get a Blizzard in the back line. There's a silence. Stormbolt as Staff of Sanctuary saves a Knight, I believe, as we're still fighting our way through. All right, Flying Machine still trying to engage. That is a lot of Knights. 2-0 upgraded Knights. No upgrades there. Stormbolt onto a Crypt Fiend as a Crypt Fiend could get taken down. Archmage now continuing to try and fight back again. Are we going to see another Staff of Sanctuary? No. Scroll of Healing was used. There's a Staff of Sanctuary as the Mountain King does get in a good bash onto the Dark Ranger. Dark Ranger could be in trouble. There goes a Knight again as the units are still trying to run away once more. Archmage gonna be forced to run again. There's a Stormbolt onto the Lich. Lich is gonna get a Death Coil. Yes, of course it will. As more and more Blizzard being brought down. The Obsidian statue was nearly dead, but the silence did come across in time. But WFZ... excuse me. WFZ takes the game. Alright, very, very close in the end, but the hero score really making a big difference there. 40,000 experience for the Undead compared to the 18,000 for Hawk. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.